everybody, it's Courtney. I'm the other half of the H- team here, and I'm going to go over my gear for our out west antelope hunt, which is about H- 10 days away. I'm heading out with Rich this year to help man the decoys, to be moral support, and hopefully to be there when he gets the job done and gets a nice antelope on the ground. So I'm going to go over the gear that I have. We've really had to think outside of the box for women's gear for this hunt, which has been a little bit frustrating. I think that there is some really good women's camouflage and hunting gear and stuff like that out on the market, but what we have access to here in the Midwest is really geared towards Midwest hunting, which makes sense, but it's also not helpful when you're trying to prepare for a hunt out on the prairie and there's no camo colors, camo patterns, even proper weight attire available to you in the hunting sections of our local Cabela's and Shields. So we've had to, like I said, get creative and kind of figure out what other options were out there for us and find out what we can make work. And I think we were pretty successful, so I'm excited to share with you what we've got. I'm going to start with footwear. I have really high arches and sort of generally bad feet, so they needed a lot of mollycoddling, and I knew I was going to need really good boots, but more like hiking boots that could handle 8 to 10 miles of rough terrain, little bouts of running, that kind of thing, more so than an actual hunting boot. I didn't need insulation. I didn't really need waterproof. I just needed lightweight, durable, but also with some protection to, ward off prickly pear needles and, all the rocks and the bits and bobs that are out there. So I ended up using Zappos to go through 12 different pairs of shoes. I had some that I really liked. I just didn't think they were quite durable enough for the task at hand. The Solomons were really great, super comfy. Was really excited about them. I just didn't think they were ultimately durable enough for this particular hunt. So I ended up going with these. These are the Oboz Bozeman. They have an all leather version, but it didn't fit quite as well for me and it was a little bit too hot. So I went with these sort of hybrids. They've got a lot of leather in kind of the big important areas where you probably have the highest risk of getting, prickly pear poke or whatever. Hopefully no snake bites. That's no shoe will probably be enough for that. But they've got a pretty good tread, nothing too crazy, but the nice high top, they should really do well for me. They've been pretty comfortable. I still have to have a custom insole, which you can't really see in there, to make these work for me, but that's the case with any shoe. But knowing that my feet are so bad and so temperamental, I'm bringing on some spares. And the first set of spares are my old tried and true Keens. These things are heavy and they're kind of clunky. And if you go through mud, they become like snowshoes. They're just huge. But they're really comfy. They do the job really well. They're very durable, really great outsole. I have good insoles in there as well. These should do well for me if I need the backup. And then worst case scenario, if the feet just are in a full-on rebellion, I've got my old Brooks running shoes. These actually used for running on the road or on the treadmill, and they're super comfy. They also have custom insoles in here. They will give me absolutely no protection. This is just like mesh fabric, but I know they're comfy, and so if my feet are really protesting, but we still need to put in the miles, these should get me where I need to go. So on to pants. Pants and tops. This is where things got really frustrating, like I said, trying to find the right colorways, the right weight clothing to do the job. The women's hunting gear that we did have access to here in town, like I said, was all kind of geared towards Midwestern tree line hunting, and it was all insulated. So it's still going to be hot out west when we head out there. So I needed something to be lightweight and breathable and really kind of focus on kind of being performance gear because you're going to do running and squatting and that kind of thing. So I wanted some fabric that was going to bend with me but still give me a little bit of protection. So we decided to look in the women's hunting gear. Struck out, as I said, and then we pivoted over to the women's hiking gear at our local Shields. We were able to find 2 different sets. Both are in OD green, kind of. I would have liked some tan, but they were hard to come by. This pair is from Prana. Let's see. They're Prana pants. They're really great. They're very stretchy. This is more of a boot cut style. They've got button pockets. They're not a cargo style, but they're very durable. They're pretty breathable, and they're stretchy. They're comfortable. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to ride up anywhere they don't belong. They're not camouflage, but I think they're going to fit the bill really well. Same goes for these Columbia ones. They're nice because they have a zipper pocket here, which is nice for things like your phone and whatnot. Same thing, really, really stretchy. These are less of a boot cut, more of a straight leg. But again, they're durable, they're breathable, they're stretchy. They're gonna perform really well. And I think the colorway won't be an issue once we get out there. The tops was the same issue. So we have one option, which I have stolen it from Rich, and I'm probably gonna steal it while we're out there. It's this Ridge Reaper pattern from Under Armour. This is a nice long sleeve t-shirt. They don't make this anymore. I think he bought this 2 or 3 years ago. It's really great. It's nice and lightweight, breathable. It's a pretty good pattern and colorway for out there, and we tried to get more, but they're not making them anymore. So I'll steal this. But one shirt's not gonna cut the mustard for this whole hunt. So we were trying to figure out what else we could come up with that would do what we needed what we needed it to do. Rich has a whole bunch of these plain kind of khaki colored cotton t-shirts from when he was in the Army. They're very broken in, very soft, very comfortable. So I'm gonna bring this plain one along just to have on hand, but my crafty side got the better of me. And I thought, what could I do with some craft supplies that I already have to make these shirts function a little better for us out there? The first thing I did, I actually did have to buy a little bit of dye for this, fabric dye for like $5. We got a tan color, and you can see kind of off to the side, I used a shibori style tie-dyeing technique to get these horizontal lines like this, and I actually think it's gonna really work well. The terrain out there, out west in the prairie where we're going, has a lot of these horizontal lines across the habitat and the environment, which is really all you're looking to do, is to kind of blend into those horizontal patterns out there. And I think that this will do a great job. It's not too regular, it's the right colorway. And this was $5 to do this shirt. And then the other shirt, I ended up painting with a little bit of fabric paint that I had on hand. I just used a tan and a darker brown color. And it was the same thing. It was mimicking that sort of out west horizontal line pattern with some lights and darks to just try and blend into the terrain out there. There isn't a lot of scrub brush, so having that real scrubby, bushy kind of out west pattern doesn't really suit where we're going. Something as simple as this should do the job really well. And this was $0 because I already had the craft paint. So hopefully those will work. The one thing you'll notice with those shirts is they are all short sleeve shirts, and it's sunny, and I don't like to get sunburned, and I don't like to be super hot. So what was I gonna do for my for my sleeves? Since none of these shirts, only one of them is a long sleeve shirt. I was able to go on Zappos, and Outdoor Research makes these, they call them sun sleeves. See, they're UPF 50, and they have an insect shield on them as well. So built-in sun protection and built-in bug protection, which is awesome. You can kind of see around the top that reflective shiny surface. That's a little bit sticky. That'll stick around the biceps to help keep it up on your arm. And then down here at the bottom, you can see the reflective kind of sticky bits for some grip on your palm. And there's also a thumb hole right here. So you can kind of get these locked in on your arms and be ready to go and not have to mess with them. So I'm really hoping those, these work well for us, and these make any t-shirt a long sleeve t-shirt if you need it. So this has been really helpful to sort of modify these two things together to get where we need to go for this hunt. Speaking of sun protection, because it is hot out there and it is sunny and there's no shade, we knew we were gonna need headgear. And aside from the standard issue baseball cap, which doesn't give you a lot of protection on your ears and your neck, this will be good for bopping around, maybe doing some scoping. But this really nerdy hat was about $18, $19 at Cabela's. It's in the fishing section. You can see it has this big neck flap, which is gonna cover my ears, down my neck, all the way around to the back and back around this side. And it's got this nice bungee cord closure at the back to keep it really snug so it won't fly off in the wind. And the whole thing's made from UPF 50, so it's sun protection. It'll keep the sun out of my eyes and it'll keep the sun off my neck, which will be really nice. Less things to have to slather in sunscreen. The other option, if that flap gets annoying for me, is one of Rich's old school boonie caps from the Army. This is the Desert Storm colorway, but you can get these at an Army Navy surplus store for next to nothing. They're made of cotton, but they've got these breathable gussets all the way around. The chin strap holds it on nice and tight, and they're super comfortable. So that will be my plan B for the hat in the sun situation. Let's see. I suppose we should talk about the under things. I'm not going to talk about underwear. You do you. You know, there's too many choices, I suppose, for any one person. But I will say that I think that this is an athletic, active pursuit. You know, you're going to be running around, unless, of course, you're sitting in a blind. But what we're doing is spot and stalk. So we're going to be putting on the miles, running at times, squatting, maybe even crawling. So this is not the time for your regular everyday bra. This is the time for a proper sports bra. This is one I have from Brooks. I really like Brooks running bras. They're fantastic. They hold everything in place, and they're very comfortable to wear all the time. This is one of those purchases, if you make it, you're going to use it for other things, other athletic pursuits. So it's not really a hunting specific purchase, but it's one you should definitely pack along instead of just your regular everyday bra. On the feet, we've gotten some darn tough socks. I've got 3 pair right here. I was able to get them on sale at Shields, so kind of brought them down to the $13, $15 price range, which is nice, because I think regularly they're in that $22 to $24 price range. But they're really nice socks, so I do think they're worth it. It's better if you can get them on sale, but it's not a big deal if you can't, because they're really comfortable. They wick the moisture away. They fit really well. They're not too big or sloppy, but they're not overly bulky either, which I really like. So then we're on to the miscellaneous gear. One of the big things, I always wear sunglasses when I'm outside, but my regular traditional sunglasses, they have the kind of bigger wings up here at the top, and they don't fit under a baseball cap well. And also they're kind of nice, or I don't want to scratch them up or lose them out there. So I went on Amazon and I got these guys. They're like $13. They're polarized. They're super lightweight. The frame is matte, so there's not a lot of metallic shininess. Obviously the lenses have some shine to them, but otherwise under that giant bill of that hat, it shouldn't be an issue. But these, I won't be upset if they get scratched up or broken while we're out there, but they're not gonna add a lot of weight to my pack, or I'm not gonna be worried about them while I'm out there, which is always good. I will pack my Garmin Forerunner. It's turned off right now, but this will log how many miles we're putting in. It'll give us a good idea of, you know, kind of what effort we're putting into this every day. We can track specific stocks if we want to. And then it's just also my watch. It's a good, reliable watch. It's very comfortable to wear. I've kind of adjusted mine with a fabric band. It's a Velcro fabric band instead of the standard issue one, but I really like that. And I think I got that strap on Amazon. So, as I mentioned before, my other primary duties, in addition to manning the decoys, is going to be documenting the trip. And this is our camera, our fancy one. The other camera we'll use is the camera I'm filming on right now, which is my iPhone. But this is a Canon Rebel T1i. We've had it for probably about 10 years. It's a great camera, really easy to use. We've got this lens and a telephoto lens to go with it. And then I also bought a polarizing filter that I got on Amazon. Kind of screws right under the front of the lid, and it's going to help with that really intense bright sunshine that you see out west, particularly on those cloudless days. It tends to wash out all the colors in your pictures and your videos, and this polarized lens should help kind of bring that saturation of the color back and make for better pictures. But the real thing, you know, the real excitement here is that I took one of Rich's old binocular harnesses and I attached the camera to this. So this is a Shields brand binocular harness. I think these are maybe $20, $30 range. And this is gonna allow me to have the camera on me at all times, but be hands-free with it. If I need to focus on holding up a decoy or get out some other gear, I can do that without worrying about setting this camera down or it's falling off my shoulder. It's locked and loaded, ready all the time, but it also leaves me ready to do whatever else I need to do. So I'm really excited about this. And I'm glad we had that extra. Amazon does sell ones that are specifically made for cameras, but again, why not repurpose something you've got if you're not already using it? So the last two pieces I'm gonna go over are the actual packs that I'll be wearing every day. We've got a base camp that's actually a campground. So we're not packing out our sleeping gear or anything like that. It's just gonna be day packing. I've got this guy, which is probably about a 10-year-old fanny pack from North Face. I believe we got it at REI. It sits on your hip really nice. I hear fanny packs are cool again. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what the kids tell me. But this is great because it's big enough to load in some substantial gear, like having the binoculars ready, not having to dig in my backpack for those. Also in the front, I've got rangefinder and really important things like snacks, Jelly Bellies. But that'll be on my hip for the things I need at a ready access, so I can leave my backpack on, which is this guy. This is not anything fancy. This is like a $25 Walmart special, I think, that the guys got last year out on that hunt. But it has a pocket in the back for your Camelback. So I'll carry my water in there. My lunch will go in here, whatever extra beverages I want to carry. And then whatever extra gear Rich can't fit in his bag or doesn't want to carry, that'll go in there and just be on my back. I will have this harness underneath the backpack, so I'm not having to take all of that on and off every time. But that's the gear. You can see not a lot of it is actually hunting specific, which is kind of nice in some ways, that it means the price per use of these items can go a lot further. Those hunting pants were about $65 a piece, as opposed to a pair of hunting pants that are 130 bucks for one pair and don't really fit the bill. These pants, I can still wear them out and about. I can wear them on actual hikes. I can wear them to the grocery store. I can wear them around the house, in the garden, whatever, because they're really just activewear pants. They're not hunting pants, which is kind of nice. And it's the same thing with these backpacks and these hip packs. They're not specifically in camo colorways. It's something you can use in everyday life without having to have separate gear for an actual hike with a family versus a hike for hunting purposes. So I'll be really, really interested to see what some of you other lady hunters have done for these out west hunts, what you've done for camouflage. Have you thought outside the box like we have? Have you ended up making your own stuff? Do you just use men's gear, which I grew up doing? That's not uncommon at all. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing for your out west hunts. Leave comments down below, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.